Our mayor will not be here today, so I will take over on the not today. So maybe city executive come forward and start their presentation, Mr. Brooks.
Yes, what I would like to do is that the town, this was town Brian's idea, so I don't want to steal up with the thunder, but I think it's something that they need to help the city as we come up with our buildings that we're trying to do with that part of property, abandoned property. This may be something helping, improving the health of another city. So town actually brings it before council, of course, and see if this is something that council may want to explore. I think she's leading that conversation with finance as well, and we're just going to see if we want to explore this so we can bring back before council for this.
Great, thank you very much. I'm very honored to present Gavin Blake with City Demetric. He has a great program. I think you guys are going to find this really interesting. I don't want to take too much of his time. He can explain about the company and everything else, so I'm going to go ahead and let him get started.
All right, thank you everyone for your time. I'm Gavin Blake, CEO and co-founder of City Detect, where we use AI and cameras to automatically detect and map out blight and other forms of decay. Next slide. So we were formed in 2021 based off of a challenge to go out and find blight. And that was one of the things that we were struggling with. How do you actually define it? How do you detect it? And so what we did was we used 10 years worth of images of blighted structures. And so after our next iteration, what we've done is we've broken down every component of a home. So we're able to differentiate between a wall, or a door, window, roof, chimney, lawn. We're able to see all of the various types of decay with any of those components. So whether or not it's an overgrown lawn, or there's a vehicle that's parked on the lawn, or a roof structural issue, or if there's a tarp on the roof, or if there's overgrown weeds that are right up on a fence or an abandoned building, or boarded up windows and doors. Next slide. And so what we do is we mount small cameras onto various types of fleet vehicles, whether those are public waste vehicles like in Columbia, South Carolina, or Atlanta, or code enforcement vehicles that we'll have in Stockton, California. What we're basically able to do is then quantify all of the issues present on any home. And what that does is it enables code enforcement to have this really triage look at where all of these things are. So for example, we did over 50,000 properties in the city of Birmingham, just a one-time shot. They were able to use those metrics to be able to put in a choice neighborhood grant proposal. We're in the city of Atlanta, where we found over 500,000 pieces of litter, debris, illegal dumping. We're now looking for graffiti as well. So we map it all out. After we've detected it, it's available on the web application. We have different ways of automatically reporting that through emails or however you want to receive that information. And then basically what happens is we're also building out an integration to be able to work with case management software systems like Comcate that your code enforcement actually uses right now. So it's a streamlined integration into that workflow. Next slide. And so just real quick, basically what code enforcement officer will generally be able to do is between 50 and 100 reports per week. What we're able to do is one report on a property every 2 seconds per camera, right? And so we're seeing things like overgrown weeds, boarded up windows or doors, structural roof issues, vacant properties, and we're able to actually grade that based on the structural issues found or whatever the weights that administration itself has determined. And we're able to have all of that, and it plays into whatever GIS layers that the system uses, or whatever GIS layers that your guys' administration uses. We built it alongside Esri so that it can interplay with the GIS department as well. We won't play through this one, but basically you're able to go through and pick and choose exactly what you want to see, how you prioritize it, what you care about, so you're able to see those types of insights. We're able to break it down by district, quadrant, neighborhood, however you wanted to do it. Our GIS team is able to pull in those affected layers. Next slide. This is our, we'll play this one, yeah. So this is our litter and debris as well. So basically the city of Atlanta, because once you have this infrastructure set up, you're able to think through what are the new issues that you want to be able to find. And they wanted to be able to find litter and debris. So real quickly, we set up models to be able to identify all the litter and debris that we pass. So these blue rectangles are instances. This is our first iteration. It's come a long way since then. Now we're able to find unhoused encampments, graffiti, litter, debris, tires, basically anything that the human eye can detect, we're able to build our models to do effectively the same thing. Move on. And so, we pull in all of that. We use it in various road segments so that you're able to see the overall conditions. The red ones are the worst conditions, but we're also able to streamline that into a reporting process as well. And then the next slide has the price, which is $35,000 per year. We have discounts for multi-year options. That's an all-in price. There's no hidden fees or anything or add-ons. And that includes basically within 24 hours, all of that data will be delivered and it will be maintained on the servers. Everything is always accessible for you guys. And then very effectively use that and see what's the overall condition of a specific neighborhood, district, council, or community in general. So basically, it's the cost of half of one code enforcement officer, where in fact we're able to do as many properties that the vehicle passes. And so we wanted to kind of run through it. I know we've only got 10 minutes, so if there's any questions that you guys have, I'd love to field them. Yes?
How often, if we went forward with this, how often would they cycle through our neighborhoods? Is it, you mentioned like garbage trucks and things like that. If we got a partnership with our collection folks, or whether we use our public works vehicles that are driving around picking up grass and leaves and things like that, if we use something like that, are we getting every 2 weeks, kind of getting an image, and that's what this is including, or is this including a once a month kind of review, or?
So it's actually, it uploads within 24 hours after the vehicle's gone by. So when we were discussing it previously, basically we would put one of these units onto Ms. Bryant's vehicle as it was driving along. Anytime that we pass any of these instances of litter, debris, dumping, tires, vacant properties, any of the houses, that report will generate within 24 hours and will be available on the web app. So basically, as frequent as that camera drives by, that's how frequent we'll be able to actually show.
Okay, you mentioned litter and debris.
Yep.
Is there a different, can you do all of it at one time, or do you have to go back and say, well, we're looking for overgrown grass this time?
It's all at one time.
Okay.
Yeah. So basically, anything that you pretty much can think of, we're capturing it on that front end, and then you're able to pick and choose what you want to see after the fact. So all that data is already stored, and basically what you're doing is you're just kind of sorting it down. So we have this trove, right, and you're able to say, I want to see all of the overgrown lots, I want to see all of the structural roof issues. You can pick and choose between them. Yeah.
One camera. This involves one camera.
Yeah. So this is on one camera. That would be on her vehicle or the new officer that she's getting.
What are the options for multiple cameras?
Sorry?
What are the options for multiple cameras?
Yeah, we're able to do as many cameras as you want. So basically, we do 7 vehicles in the city of Atlanta. We do 8 in Columbia, 5 in Greenville. Yeah, we're able to do it based on overall kind of scope of the fleet and size of the city.
So is that $35K per year option, free option? Does that involve multiple cameras, or is it just one camera?
Yeah, that's the one camera, just for basically supporting that one, that one unit on one of the vehicles.
So that's a per unit.
It's not full on, it's not quite, that's right. So additional cameras, we don't have a set metric. It's kind of overall based on how much processing we're anticipating we're going to be doing every 24-hour period. So depending on the amount of cameras, we just have to kind of figure that out.
Yeah, I know you're thinking the same thing I am. Tana goes where the issues are,
Right.
or where they're reported. She also does some kind of free driving, but it's a lot of street network for one vehicle to cover.
And that's my thing. I guess, what about the streets that don't have any limits?
Yeah, it doesn't mean we don't have a problem.
Right, right. Because we got to live everywhere, especially with that and stuff.
A lot of things get reported, so, it may be worthwhile. I'd be interested in seeing, what, we had 3 cameras. I don't know that we would need more than that. If Atlanta can do it with 7, we ought to be able to do it with 3.
Oh yeah, so Atlanta is doing it with street sweepers and rear loader trucks. And then that is in stage 1, and they're actually just doing the litter and debris stage. In Columbia, we're doing 5 cameras on their public waste vehicles as well. And that's more of a full coverage.
Well, that's the reason I mentioned Public Works, is because they're gonna go down every street to pick up leaves and stuff. I mean, we contract out our waste, so that may be complicated if it's worth, but, you put it on a brush truck or, something like that, would more likely to get complete coverage.
Does the brush truck go up and down, or does it have does its boom arms swing on both sides?
It'll have a boom arm.
Yeah, it'll go both directions.
Okay.
So, yeah, you gotta go both directions on the street to get it all right.
Yep, perfect.
So like a smaller vehicle is probably what you put them on usually, right?
No, we put them on, large vehicles, trash trucks. They're pretty robust. They're all aluminum or all metal enclosures now, so when they get hit by branches, there's no issue. We'll make waterproof and everything.
Any more questions?
It's a cool program.
Appreciate it, yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you,
All right.
Mr. Blake.
Thank you,
Thank you.
guys, for funding it.
Just to make sure, council, so I take away from this and get down and look at what it would cost for maybe 3 cameras, we got what again, and get some options.
Yeah, I'd just like to figure out how we can get, and I'm sure Tim has thought about that already, about how we would get, complete coverage of our community, because we got alleys, we got locations where, where a lot of that dumping and the problems that we have, that typically happen on, vacant streets, and they're not getting reported. I mean, some of it gets reported when it's across the street from somebody, but we don't need a camera to tell us that's there. We know it's there. I'm more interested in stuff that's getting dumped in the vacant lots and night and in the alleys and things like that. We're not getting a report on. And having money accomplish that would be a greater good, I think. But I see how we can assist day to day, just with the amount of time and the limited resources we have, this is a real value. So I see it as a real value. However, I just think we need to come up with a direction that makes really good sense.
One more question. So, data gets uploaded. Is it uploaded to just one terminal, or how would that be accessed?
Yeah, so anybody can access it. Any of you guys that are onboarded on the web application can do it from phones, iPads, desktop. It's cloud-based, so it doesn't require an install.
And the reason I asked that question, people call and say, hey, I got such and such. Before I report anything, go to the website,
One of the other reasons that I'm really interested in this is I've been trying to get an accurate account of what we have for dilapidated structures, what areas that we really need to concentrate in. So by having this, instead of me going block by block and, trying to rate them, this does it real quick, and then we can see exactly what we have, in these neighborhoods. So, which is ideal for if we want to rebuild and picking an area that we may have more or less work to do in for rebuilding, rehabilitation, that type of thing. So it would benefit several areas.
So Tim, identifying the issue is one thing, but rectifying it is another. And so what you all are saying, this would be, the data would be helpful in obtaining grants. Is that what we're talking about
apply for grants, you do need to supply the data. And again, for me to go out piece by piece to try to gather the data where it's all uploaded right here, it's easier to submit for any type of grants that would be available for us.
But it would allow us to also identify areas, whether it's a block or a certain street or something like that, that has got a higher concentration than another, so that we could target grants or cleanup efforts in a specific location to try to make a greater impact. That'd be great.
Historical, can you keep historical down as well?
Yeah.
Because that's, repeat areas, right?
Yeah, so that's one of the interesting things, right? Like, in a lot of communities, if a vehicle is parked on the front lawn, that's a code violation. Oftentimes, though, they always feel bad about actually citing it because, all right, well, is this just somebody's mother-in-law who's in from out of town? What you're able to do is you're able to actually scroll through, you're able to see every instance of that, picture being taken. So then what you can see is, all right, well, actually, this is a habitual offense. This is something that we should actually prioritize. So basically, it's not only providing a historical data, but it also is able to trigger saying, hey, look, this is a repeat offense. This is something that actually should be improved.
And could we also use this for public works as far as to help schedule so we find areas that are, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's what we're doing with Atlanta. So we see the litter, debris, legal dumping, we ingest it, and basically every morning at 8 a.m. they get a list of exactly where those issues are, like specific road segments, so they can see in with pictures, right? So they're able to say, oh my gosh, I've got these 7 areas that are real bad. We're going to go up. I actually just got back from an event with the mayor up in Atlanta just now, and we were showcasing it all. Yeah, so it absolutely can be used for public works.
I see it also can be a help to us because it's recording that data. If we've got a place that's getting dumped, that we clean up and the dump reappears. And then at that point, it gives Tana the information she needs to go set up a game camera or something like that so we can figure out who the offender is rather than kind of chasing the tail of the dog like we do right now. I think that would be a real value in that too.
Can we get maybe an estimate on what one camera would cover for the entire city? At what rate? Let's say if Tana were to move one attached to her car, how many hours would she have to spend in a day to cover a certain part of the city versus if we had 3 cameras? I'm just trying to think of what would be the most cost effective if Atlanta has 7, part of me still doesn't think we need 3. So something like that.
Yeah, I may be off. I was just throwing that number out.
Excuse me, sorry. The Atlanta has 7 now, and the second phase would be like 40. So I don't want to misrepresent thinking that covering all of Atlanta.
Is that 40?
Yeah, that would be, yes, that's the total amount.
Where are you currently covering it?
So they're doing kind of a rotation. It's through a little bit of all the different quadrants. They're actually changing up the schedule a little bit. But we've done there's 500 miles worth of coverage with just those.
Okay.
It takes the brush crews 1 month to do the entire city.
Okay.
So, we have 2 brush trucks, 2 crews, and for 4 weeks, they're doing the entire city. So, 1 month would be 2 cameras.
Okay.
Just in days of need.
And even if we got 2 cameras, because our public works will do is a brush truck, and then Tana could use one as well, and maybe do 2 different things. So it's a way to do, but I think 2 would be the most. I think we could decide as a city. I think we could 2 cameras to make it work. But I'm just thinking with the limited personnel that we have, this would help so much to get us. At least we can figure out how to actually attack this. Because I even look at that would help with which part would it help? This drive, that can help them. Maybe it's a place that needs to be targeted. We don't have to be calling the people know each and every day. We say, hey, check out this area this day for litter. it's just a lot of things I think that happen with this, we put in place.
Yeah, I think it helps all departments. I think it helps fire identify potential, structures that are problematic. You know, I mean, it helps police identify where vagrants may be, shacking up. I mean, it helps everybody. It helps David figure out where to send his crews in the morning, and make us more efficient in that capacity. So I think I see it catching just about every piece of the part. So.
And it brings us into the 21st century.
Just keep it out of the street. No, no street.
All right, to be mindful of time, we're gonna go ahead and move forward. We have cash reimbursements, pretty self-explanatory. $53.61 to Brittany Gossage and Shannon English. Any questions? All right, we'll move forward to number 3, city personnel policies and procedure manual update. Mr. Post.
You know, man, those are just housekeeping things that we need to do because she does a great job, keeps up on HR. This thing just keeps us out of trouble, so it brings in line with everything else we have to take. So these are just bringing out us, policy and procedure manual, and that's what this is.
Well, we gotta get from the HR. Let's get from everything.
All right, we'll move forward. Board applications. We initially had 4. Laura Alexander is going to be removed from that one today, so we'll have her radio, Matt Shumley, and Jared Leak. Any questions?
And Councilman Harris, you're aware that the Parks and Recreation Board will come up next time.
Okay.
All of those, because we're trying to get everyone from every ward and reappoint to that. That's why you don't see that today. You'll be on the next one.
Okay, thank you.
We have an alcohol license application for Express Mart 40 located inside the city limits at 2328 Noble Street. Questions, comments? We'll move on to number 6, surplus real property. We'll declare surplus certain real property and authorize the conveyance of the same identified as parcel number. I don't read that whole parcel number. Any questions or?
That's the property located on 22nd Noble. That's in Councilman Robinson's ward. We've already had the conversation. What this will do, if you realize on 22nd Noble, across from the old gas estate, we have a little park there, but next to it is a child care center. They want to buy that property, that child care center wants to buy that property, and actually extend it out and do some things and make the park a lot of things because she's really tied in there right now. So I think this is one of those things good. We don't use that park anymore. We can not have to do maintenance on it anymore, and I think this is a good fit because it's already there. So tell me, Councilman Robinson's good with it, and she's good with it as well.
Sounds good. Moving forward, the zoning ordinance draft.
Well, that's just something that Councilman, we just continue to talk about. I think we only have one, and then Ms. Millie's already talked about what she's doing, but this is not the time, it's just one of those things, keep the conversation going. Yes.
You guys want to talk about it a little bit, or you want to keep going?
I didn't have any new issues at this point. I've done through a portion of it, but not all of it. I'm working it through.
Sounds good. Mr. Phillips, some city manager updates. You just want to group the city hall and line it up together?
Yes, I think, does everybody have a copy of the breakdown for the new city hall? It was also in your packets. But first I want to apologize because Councilman Jenkins really brought this to my attention. We got this ongoing and I really haven't given you an update, so I apologize for that. So this is the update because it is coming along fastly. Keeping in mind, just like I mentioned in there, there's a 300-day time on this, and we're talking that's in December 2024. And it looks like everything is running on schedule. So as I mentioned in there, it looks like in December 2024, we can start talking about a strategy to relocate back downtown. It looks like everything's going to fit into that. And also, as I said, that if any council person would like to take a look at what's going on in it now, please let us know. I know tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock we're going to go in there because I know the mayor and one other person we're going to look at it. But if you want to go there tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock, we're going to be there. But But any other time, we like to just go in and take a look at what it looks like thus far. The walls are going up, you can actually see what it's going to really look like. And it's really, the council should be commended, because I think this is going to be something that's so great for this city when it opens up. And I just want to publicly thank our public work director for staying on this, because we could not have had this moving the way it's moving without him making sure we're doing the right thing and holding everybody accountable. But right now, we got a good team, the architect, contractors, public works, we got a good team working together for one purpose, and they're doing it passionately, because they want to give the best product that we can. I think it's going to be something that the city can be proud of. The other issue we're talking about, we brought to our attention by the Lions Club, and they wanted to actually place a Lions Club sign as you enter the city of Anniston. And we researched that a little bit and looked at it, and keep in mind, we don't control the 21, that's 21 when you come into. So if you look at the memo that came, the email that was shared with me, we had our engineer department called out. There's only one place that can be placed, and that's when you coming northbound into Anniston on Quintar. There's a sign that says Ciara, and that's the only, depicted here, that's the only place that our doc will allow for those signs to be placed, a sign to be placed for Quantas, and Lions Club, anything else like that. But keep in mind, if we do it for one, we set a precedent, so we don't have to do it for others. So what needs to happen if our council chooses to do this, we need to keep in mind, we probably need to regulate the size of the sign, where it's gonna go, and how it's gonna go. So I just wanted to make sure if anybody approaches you all about that sign, somebody may say to you all, well, if you go to Jacksonville, I've only found one place where it's not, and that's in Jacksonville. Jacksonville has one similar sign with 3 different organizations on it. But as we look and check at that sign is not set on the city's right of way, that sign sits on private property. So if somebody says that Jacksonville got like that, it's on private property. The only place, another place I've seen it like, I think you're going on the Roanoke, and if you look at the big sign that got on the hill in Roanoke, I see things like the Lions Club and all that. So that's similar, because that's 431 when you're on the Roanoke. So it's similar to the same thing here. So if the council chooses to do this, I need to, if that's something you all want to look into, we need to look at maybe some other regulatories that's in other cities, and come up with an idea so we can actually talk to council, regulate the sign, how we're going to do it, how are we going to make this happen. So I just want to give that to you just in case it's being brought to your attention. And any questions?
Ryan, any questions? Well, we'll adjourn, and then we'll come back together before we meet after.
This other